Y'all remember this guy right here, Roy Johnson from Bishop Sycamore? I did a video about this like a year or two ago, but do you guys still remember the Bishop Sycamore story? Now, the story goes that Roy Johnson scammed ESPN by allowing his illegitimate school to face off against IMG on national television. Now, Roy Johnson told ESPN that his school had multiple top 100 ranked players. That was a lie. His school wasn't even a real school, and his school had multiple 20-year-olds on the squad. But despite Bishop Sycamore having multiple 20-year-olds on the team and going up against high schoolers, the 20-year-olds got smacked and beat up so bad by the high schoolers that the football analyst that was covering the game, they got worried for the 20-year-old's safety.
Bishop Sycamore told us they had a number of Division I prospects on their roster. To be frank, a lot of that we could not verify. And they did not show up in our database. They did not show up in the databases of other recruiting services. So it's okay. If that's what you're telling us, fine. That's how we take it in. From what we've seen so far, this is not a fair fight. And there's got to be a point now, Ludes, where you do worry about health and safety.
I already am worried about it. I think it's this could potentially be dangerous given the circumstances and the mismatch that we have here. And quite honestly, Bishop Sycamore doesn't have not only the frontline players, but they don't have the depth in case something were to happen to their roster with maybe a kid or two here throughout the remaining 2.5 quarters of this football game.
After the game and everybody realizing Roy Johnson hoodwinked ESPN, there were other red flags that came out, such as Roy Johnson having an active arrest warrant in Ohio. Roy Johnson had a $20,000 GoFundMe out for his fake school. It was red flags galore. But even the people who were highly suspicious had no idea how bad Bishop Sycamore and his operations were behind the scenes. But thanks to this new documentary, we now know exactly how bad Bishop Sycamore was.
We get our ass kicked. They plaster me all over there, call me all types of names. The New York Times writes a story about me, calling me crazy, calling me this. I'm a con artist, all that. We still win. You know why? Because that gang got me on the phone with Michael Strahan, and now I'm talking to you. I love it when a plan comes together.
Roy Johnson is a sociopath, right? Listen, if anybody is talking to you with their eyes like this, run. Clear signs to run. Now, he starts off the documentary bragging about how his fraudulent actions and unethical ways actually got him on the phone with Michael Strahan and got him this documentary, and he's talking to you guys on Netflix. Essentially, he's saying, I won. His laughter will come across as severely troubling after you hear the kids' testimony as to exactly what they went through in the hands of Roy Johnson. His laughter will come across as severely troubling after you hear the kids' testimony as to exactly what they went through in the hands of Roy Johnson.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna stop talking, though, because y'all think you know about this. Ask him. Hey, coach, what happens when you're late? Ask him.
Hey, coach, what happens when you're late?
Guess what happens? They take your money. Don't be late.
Come on, bro. You don't care about us for real. You care about money.
This man was telling kids that you gotta pay a mandatory fee to attend this school.
The cost was approximately $12,000. Yeah, to this day, I'm still receiving an invoice from Bishop Sycamore, and it's from Education Resource.
In Roy Johnson's GoFundMe for the school, and also when he talks to the public, he presents the school as if it's this charity case he's doing out of the goodness of his heart for at-risk youth. But behind closed doors, he's charging the parents of these kids $12,000 to $14,000 to attend the school. And please understand me, when I say school, I'm talking about an illegitimate football program. It's not a school, right? Like, Bishop Sycamore is no different than you gathering 22 other friends and starting a football team. It's no different. Now, when the kids and their parents came to him and told him, hey, bro, we can't afford $14,000 for a football program, his idea, his genius plan for how they could afford it $12,000 to $14,000 would blow you away.
Kids and their parents called and told Coach Roy that we don't have the money for this. And Coach Roy literally said, I can help you with that. Take out a loan.
Roy pressured the kids into doing PPP loans, and it made it seem that the money was going to go towards tuition. So now they're thinking this is like a a grant or something.
Hey, listen, yo. There's just certain things I just got to categorize as grade A Negro activity. So Roy Johnson had the at-risk youth and at-risk kids who don't got businesses. Roy Johnson took their information, applied for PPP loans on their behalf, kept the $20,000 or $40,000 he got for their PPPs, kept it for himself, and told them, "Oh, your tuition is covered. Don't worry about it. Big Daddy Roy got you. Don't worry about it." The man is a menace, bruh.
And whole time, it's just nothing but a loan. If you don't do this, how else are you going to cover a $16,000 tuition being an 18-year-old unemployed student athlete? They don't understand that, well, okay, you do this loan, this is going to go back and hit your credit. They're just understanding that 50 people wanted to get D1, 50 people wanted to go play football, but 50 people also got told, well, this is the only way that can happen.
The first day, the parents were gone. It was just us and the coaches. We had to sign a paper with our information. We signed our names, gave our address, and we signed our social.
Somebody going to jail. Bruh, I can almost guarantee you in 12 months, we'll be looking back at Roy Johnson getting a federal indictment and thinking, bro, why'd you do this Netflix documentary, bro? Like you're self-snitching. Now, here's the thing. To get a PPP loan, you actually have to show proof that you have a business and employees. So Roy will take these kids' information, apply for PPP loans on their behalf with fraudulent information, and keep the money. Now, certain kids who didn't consent to Roy applying for PPP loans on their behalf, well, Roy had another strategy in mind. On the first day of school, Roy gave these kids a general document to fill out with their information. So Roy essentially now had about 40 to 50 kids' social security number who didn't consent to the loans, and Roy applied for PPP loans on their behalf as well and kept all the money and never told them he applied for loans under their name.
Have you given other people your social security number?
No.
Did you take out 2 PPP loans for $20,833?
Nah, I don't know anything about that. I didn't take out no loans.
I didn't get any PPP loans. We didn't get any PPP loans. The school didn't get $100,000, $500,000, and we just had it anywhere. So that did not happen. I would not tell 40, 30, 20 kids to all take out PPP loans from the United States government. I don't even trust the United States government. They were just on my ass.
Now listen, maybe it's implicit bias, all right? But I don't believe either one of them, right? The kid looks like he was probably in on it too, but I don't know, right? They both look untrustworthy. But Roy Johnson isn't convincing nobody, bro. Like those wide beady eyes, bro, stop it, bro. Yo, Roy, you finesse them kids out their money, bro.
Legally, I did not commit any fraud. I just hang out in the gray. What do they call me? Loophole Leroy?
That right there explains why a lot of y'all be going to jail. Because when it comes to criminals, they all think they got this super magic formula that nobody else ever thought about that could keep them out of jail. They really think that they are getting away with crimes. Roy, you're going to jail soon, bro. So this dude, Roy, really said, oh, I just know loopholes to fraud. Oh, I just flow in a gray area to fraud, but legally, I haven't committed any fraud. Roy, you're going to jail. Now, the story gets even crazier, bro. Once you hear the tactics that Roy used to quote-unquote motivate these kids.
So one morning, the sun barely coming out. There's 5 geese in the road. This man.
Yes. And if you're thinking what I think you're thinking and you're asking yourself, no, he didn't, Flacco. Yes, he did.
Goes full speed and run the geese over with no remorse.
Did you ever run over a gaggle of geese?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Hmm? Yes, it was a geese, but I guess because there were multiple there, that would be considered running over multiple geese, yes.
This man said, I gotta show you niggas what it's like to go to war. It ain't nothing like the smell of fresh blood in the morning.
Nah, bro. Yo, hey, listen, I'm gonna just say the obvious, bro. Personalities like Roy Johnson, we often attribute to other groups of people, right? We usually don't attribute Jeffrey Dahmer-like activities to bald-head brothers from the hood. But this man is a man. Yo, check Roy Johnson's basements, bro. You got some people tied up in this basement. Ain't no way, bro. Now, foolish of me, I thought it couldn't get much worse than running over some geese. But the next lesson Roy Johnson taught these kids was even worse, bro. I wasn't prepared for this.
Early on in the season, we came out for practice one morning, and then there's a homeless man like trying to get into Roy's car.
So when I walk out the front of the building, my car door's open and somebody's in it, like, you know, looking for something, whatever. This person looks up. When I look up, it's not a player, it's just some guy. So I was like, yo! This guy had my cell phone, my wallet, my stuff. So he turns around and I was like, bruh, you don't want this. Because at this point, now a bunch of players ran out. I told the team, the reason he's acting like this is because he never had a dad whoop his ass.
And then he took his belt off. He literally whipped him like with the belt, the homeless dude with the belt.
And I just started smacking him on his butt until he gave me my stuff. And I think he by accident, because maybe turned, got hit like, you know, in the arm and in the face, but.
That went on for like a little minute, like probably like 5 minutes, and then everybody on the team like just got licks in.
Roy Johnson will be a case study for years to come. Because Roy Johnson caught a homeless man trying to dig in his car and take some things. Not only did Roy Johnson whoop the homeless man with his belt, but Roy Johnson then passed the belt to other members of his team, the kids, to get their licks in. And that was Roy Johnson teaching the kids a lesson. Like, what was the lesson? To brutalize homeless men if they try to rob you?
The homeless guy, after the fight, he walked away, like, with his, like, holding his ribs, like, he didn't have his bike anymore because they broke his bike.
When the police show up and they're like, what happened, was going on, and he's laying there and he's like, I know I shouldn't have broken his car and took his stuff, but they shouldn't have done me like that. There was like 100 of them.
And I was just like, I would never would get involved in anything like that. So I was just kind of like standing there as a bystander. I'm like, this is not where I want to be at all. And I was just shook.
My son called me and he said, Mom, I want to come home. He was really adamant, like, I want to come home.
So when they were taking him in, because he said he had to go to the hospital, he was like, am I going to get pain meds for this?
A man who laughs that hard while recalling brutalizing a homeless man should be nowhere near kids. Bro, this documentary is crazy. I would encourage every one of you guys to go ahead and watch it and truly see how diabolical this man was. There's even testimonies from his players who witnessed him beating his wife. He's truly a bad person, deplorable. Now, before you guys leave, click on the video somewhere on my screen to check out exactly why I say black folks must do this one thing to survive after the Jacksonville Dollar Tree mass shooting. Check out my commentary on his racially motivated mass shooting somewhere on my screen, all right? I'm going to see you guys in this video. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.